Epic Universe just opened, and let me tell you, it's massive. So if you only have 2 days at this park, don't worry, I've got you covered. I wanted to give you my breakdown of my itinerary for plating 2 days at Epic Universe. My husband and I were lucky enough to preview the park back in April. We got to spend time in each portal, and we're here to help you plan your visit like a pro. Stick around for the end, that I'm sharing top 3 time waster tips that you do not want to miss. When we visited the park back in April, we were there for the preview. Original plan, we were talking going into it, we're going to do half the park in one day, half the park in a separate day. The problem that we hit was virtual queues. The good news is virtual queues are gone. The Ministry of Magic is now on a standby line. So what this means to you is you don't have to worry about that curve when you're planning your day, at least as far as virtual queues are concerned. All right, here's what I recommend. If you're staying on property, Super Nintendo World is part of early park admission, so that's where I would start. Now, most people are making a mad dash to Donkey Kong's Minecart Madness, but keep in mind, we don't run in theme parks. It's not safe. You could get hurt. The 3 attractions here is Donkey Kong Minecart Madness, Mario Kart Bowser's Challenge, Yoshi's Adventure, which is perfect for little ones, but if the line is super busy early in the morning, I would circle back to that one. I loved it, but I like Yoshi a lot. So if you're a Super Nintendo fan like us, you'll want to consider grabbing a power-up band. You can get this at the front of the park at the store, or you can get it at the store within Super Nintendo World. So this is a $45 band, but it gives you access to go around the Super Nintendo World, collect coins, play the mini games, and truly interact with the land. Me and my husband shared one band while we're there, and when we go back in September, we could share the same band, or we may buy another one for our daughter. It was really easy to share. They're like a slap bracelet, and we just shared it back and forth. Now, I can see if you have multiple kids, they may not want to share, but just keep that in mind going into it, that they're around $45 a piece. All right, food tip. So inside Super Nintendo World, there is Toadstool Cafe, which we've heard great things about, but we've not tried it ourselves yet. What we did is we did go right outside Super Nintendo to the Pizza Moon and shared a pizza there, which was amazing. So I highly recommend that if you really enjoy pizza. It's some of the best pizza I've had in a theme park. After lunch, you can hop over to Dark Universe. I feel like Dark Universe really comes alive at night. It makes it more spooky. There's 2 rides in Dark Universe. There's Monsters Unchained, which is amazing, truly amazing. We really enjoyed it. One of my top rides. It's similar to Forbidden Journey, but it's less tense, and I don't feel like you'll get motion sickness if you get motion sickness on that ride, because it's really hard to tell the difference between the animatronics and the screens. I really consider this a must ride. The second ride is Curse of the Werewolf. Curse of the Werewolf is a family coaster, but if you're short on time or it has a long wait, I would maybe skip this one and come back to it later if I had more time. You also have a couple of food options here in Dark Universe. You have Burning Blade Tavern, where you can go pick up a drink, or you can mobile order some quick snacks. There's also Das Steakhouse, where you could go in and sit in the air condition and eat. All right, day 2 is where you have to make a few decisions. So you've already seen half the park. You've got 2 portals left plus Celestial Park. If you don't have little kids and you're a thrill seeker, I would go straight to Stardust Racers, and because it also opens during early park admission. So if you're staying on site, you can take advantage of that and go straight over there. But if you have little ones and you're like us and love How to Train Your Dragons, my pro tip would be to rope drop How to Train Your Dragons. Now, it does not open with early park admission, so you would have to stand at the portal and wait for it to open. But then once you get into the portal, I would go straight to the Hiccup and Toothless meet and greet, because that gets very long lines. It's not available for express passes, and I feel like that's a must-do. And then since you're over there, the Untrainable Dragon Show is right there next to it, and it's super cute, a must-see. Take some tissues, I cried. There's 3 rides in this land. There's the Fire Drill, which is their water ride. Hiccup's Ring Glider, which is a great family coaster. It's probably more intense than most of your family coasters at Disney, but people are saying it's a mini Hagrid's, but it's not as intense as Hagrid's. And then you have the Dragon Racer Rally, which is a spinner ride. All right, food tips for this area is I would get lunch at Spitting Dragon's Mac and Cheese. These mac and cheese cones are amazing. Steven and I shared one in the vlog, and he had cheese on his beard. It was so good. Or if you want a place to cool off, you could head into the meat hall and order food in there as well. So in the afternoon, I would head over to the Ministry of Magic. So I do feel like this is a very immersive wizarding world. I'm not sure if it's my favorite, but it's up there. And like Super Nintendo World, there's an interactive piece to it. So you do have the option to buy a wand, or if you've been to Universal before and you already have a wand, you can take that one as well and cast spells and do magic at all the different window spots. We do show us doing this in our day 2 vlog at Epic. If you would like to check that out, I'll put that in the description box below. Some of the cool things in Ministry of Magic is you do have some interactive cast members walking around. You can meet some of the wizarding students. They're walking around looking for magical creatures. And you can also meet some Aurors walking around. There is a show. It is called Les Circuits. I'm sure I'm butchering that. I'm so sorry. But it is cute. It's taken place in Fantastic Beasts area, and we did enjoy the show. The Battle of the Ministry ride, it is on standby now. No more virtual queue, which is great. The thing is, if you're a hardcore Harry Potter fan, I would almost rope drop that instead of my other options I gave you earlier, as this ride has had variable wait times since they've taken it off virtual queue. During the last couple of preview days, it had 4 and 5 hour waits, but the past couple of days, it's only had 30 to an hour minute wait. So maybe pay attention to that before you get there to have that game plan on should you rope drop that ride. Also, that ride does not open in early park admission, so it'd be similar to rope dropping Isle of Berk. You would have to stand at the portal gate until they open it. So they also have Bar Moonshine, which is a small little bar area inside the Ministry, the portal, and there's 2 greatly themed restaurants that you can get food at in there as well. I've heard great things about the Butterbeer crepe, but we didn't get to try it on this time. But of course, we did get a souvenir cup with the Butterbeer, the butter Paris way. I think that's the Paris way of saying Butterbeer. All right, once you've covered all the 4 main portals, you still have Celestial Park. This is the central hub of Epic Universe. This is where you're going to walk in the very beginning, and it connects you to all the portals. Celestial Park is beautiful. The things you'll find in Celestial Park, there is a gorgeous carousel. There's a kids splash pad area. There's live music and performers in different places on Celestial Park. There's 2 Starbucks locations. There's one at the front of the park and then one like a walk-up Starbucks near Dark Universe. And then of course, it wouldn't be a theme park without shopping. There's shopping throughout the parks. And then the main shop is when you first walk in. And then there's also a Christmas shop up there where you get you an ornament or something. So if you finish day 2 early, I would use that time to circle back to any ride that you didn't get to ride or anything that you must experience again. Also, you could just walk around Celestial Park, especially at night. It really does light up. Like I said, this whole park is gorgeous at night. And they do have the fountain show that I think is a must to see. We were there 2 days and we didn't experience everything. Like we truly enjoy just walking around and trying to see as much as possible, but it's just such a big park. All right, my top 3 time wasters to avoid. Standing in a long line for an attraction you don't care about. Make sure you focus on what you love first, especially if you don't have as much time. Tip number 2, waiting too long for food. Mobile order whenever it's possible. And tip number 3, trying to do it all. I just truly don't think it's possible to do everything in 2 days. So I would make sure I had a list of everything I would love to do and try to make those my focus first. And then if you have more time, you go back and try everything else. I hope this 2-day itinerary helps you make the most of your days at Epic. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe for more tips and check out our Epic vlogs below. We truly enjoyed our time while we were there in April and we cannot wait to go back in September. All right, we'll see you in the next video. Bye.